Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack on Productions. Today, I, Bancroft, am being joined by a whole slew of people. That includes, like always, Fluff, Jimmy. Today's guest stars is Tanner, and hidden in the shadows is Matt.
What's up, Peyton?
Coming out of the shadows to say hello.
Hi, Matt.
What's up?
And today we have a cheese wheel rolling contest where Fluff is piloting the Gouda, where I'm playing extra cheddar. And
Specifically the Copper Hill cheese wheel rolling.
I mean, you can do it in your own backyard if you want to, if your hill's big enough, but, who am I to say you can't? But with that being said, there are buttons. Click them if you would like. I would appreciate it, but that's all I'm going to ask for.
Yeah. All right, so the 2100 subscriber special is we're going to have an actual cheese wheel rolling competition.
Do you know how much a wheel of cheese actually is?
Oh, it's expensive.
I mean, we're making that YouTube bank, man.
So
I mean, we are thinking about selling our victory strike. We could probably afford a wheel.
So I want to get into this real quick before we truly get started. Fluff, you're playing the Bergamo. I am playing Garlic Jr. But before all of that, these mats are really dope. If you're a fan of Dice Thrones, this is actually what they're from, the new Kickstarter Fluff finally got. But I just absolutely loved them.
Yeah, I love that tray, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh.
So let's get into the game.
Yeah, Bancroft, why don't you tell me a little bit about your deck? What's the goal? Talk about it.
So we actually had to record this game twice.
Yeah, we did.
And you're not going to see the reaction in this one, because it's in the first game. I kind of realized it. Garlic Jr. likes to flood the board very quickly. It has a very beautiful negate that practically negates, and your opponent will attack one more time afterwards. So it's a little bit better in dormant potential. It does not KO a battle card, but you do have to have 4 Demon Clan cards in your battle area. So there are some restrictions to it. But Garlic Jr. could definitely flood the board. Turn 1, I free played the blocker Yamcha. I could next turn play another one, and then in turn play another one that's 3. And if I happen to be awakened, when you attack me, I could play another one from there. There's a Vinegar that plays another one from the top 5 cards of your deck. So it has ways of flooding the board. And so that way I get where I want to be. I'm safe. You attack. I go, nope, energy field. But in our first game, I think it was before my turn 3. Or during my turn 3. I played it energy, and I'm like, I got 3 battle cards. I'm in my turn. I'm going to have a 4 for 1. He's not going to do anything. All right, Fluff just played Xeno Unison. He's playing a blue deck. We haven't seen blue in our locals for a while, truly. And I forget about a key card, and I'm like, how am I supposed to win this game all of a sudden? Then we end up not recording the video. And I'm like, well, I messed up there. Let's start over. So, I like to flood the board. Fluff, what do you like to do?
This deck is really weird. On the leader's front side, you get to play a 2 or less from your hand, and then you also get to self-awaken off of that. So Oregano is the perfect target for that, because there's a lot of the U9 cards that want to be in the deck in this particular version. So I can put a dog back in the deck, whether it be the 4-drop, the 3-drop, or the 2-drop. And that pretty much just lets me... But when you bottom, you get to draw 2, which is just an amazing deck filter. It's not really a plus, but it's just a deck. So I get to control the quality of my hand, because I don't want the dogs in my hand. I want negates. I want sensu beans. I want Comfrey. I want the yellow dog.
Hey guys, Jimmy, can you mute yourself? I'm not sure what's going on over there. There's a lot of background noise.
Yeah, there was. You're pumping out the blockers here, and one thing that I'm really worried about, every time that you swing, or I swing into you, you're playing a card from your hand, essentially,
Only
against this deck.
Awaken.
Right. But I know that it's coming. So I need to proactively think about ways to blow your field up or get rid of things on your field. Because I know once that negate is live, all the advantage to this deck just melts away.
Now, one thing, new players have to be aware of, I believe, is it the black, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it the black or the blue Meki Kabura, where you specifically announce the card and the energy that can't be played?
It's the black one.
But you have to say a character name.
Right.
Yeah.
So Bandai, I believe, is going towards more game interaction,
Yes.
verbal game interaction. And
Yes.
what you'll see with Fluff's deck is if he puts a Bergamo in rest mode and fails to say "ain't nothing but the dog in me," he does not get the effect.
Oh,
But-
jeez.
But I always say it.
I'm gonna call Judge real quick on that. Oh, he left the room though.
This here is the main combo of the deck. You tap 3 energy for Comfrey, then you get to play the Trio de Dangers Mark of the Wolves from your hand. Mark of the Wolves lets you search the deck for 2 Universe 9s, energy cost 4 or less with different names, and play them. So you always grab the 4-drop Bergamo, and then you grab either the Lavender or the Basil, depending on the situation that you need. This Lavender, once, right now their skills are negated, but next turn I will be able to swing with him and blow up a card of 4 or less on Bancroft's side of the field.
Yeah. And I don't know exactly why I blocked that first attack. I should have let it gone through. I think I even said that after I did it.
Yeah.
And
Now, Fluff, realistically, how many Lavenders can you get on the field at a time?
I can get 3. I run 3. I can play 3. I'm really thinking about putting in the yellow 4-drop Lavender that is blocker, deflect, barrier that rests a card when it activates blocker or is attacked. I can't remember the exact effect on him, but I'm thinking about adding in 2 of those just to help defend the Bergamos and be another, tech choice and problem solving card. Oh, it's activate main, choose 2 of your opponent's energy, switch them to rest mode, negate the skill for the duration of the game. But he's blocker, barrier, deflect. I'm thinking putting 1 of him in there just as a problem solver for the deck.
so in our first game, when we played this one, in the past whenever I played Garlic Jr., I've always felt confident going down at least 2 life for some reason because getting the board on there. You make me I get to the point where I'm like, I'm just gonna awaken. I can't do anything. I'm not gonna risk it anymore because you have 3 open ends right now. I can't remember if you go into another chain or not.
I think I do.
I think
if I sensu beamed or awakened, I probably have the ability to Comfrey and play something else.
you've already awakened. I think.
Yeah. I'm awake.
So here I am. It's I'm just have to awaken because I'm not going to get put into the same situation I was last turn. I'm not blocking. And the reason why I was going to block earlier, because I forgot they were negated, and then he's like, no, they're negated. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to block because I didn't mean to block the first attack. So I'm trying to get as many battle cards as I can on the board, but you have a Zeno. No matter what I do at this point, I know there's a trunk somewhere there, hidden in your hand.
This is the first deck that I have played that's blue that feels really bad to resolve the Zenos -5.
Yeah.
Trunks. Fluff, do you run Baby Counter Ape in that deck?
I'm actually thinking about putting it in as a 1 of. Because, so again, you see that God Slicing Kamehameha is charged to my energy. I didn't play it all night. Because if you want to play it for free, you have to discard 2 cards, and it just counters a 4 or less. Feels really bad. So I really want to play a Counter Ape and then put in 3 of the Ultra Instinct Kamehamehas instead of those God Slicing Kamehamehas.
What about a Heroic Prospect? Ask if you ran that as well.
Heroic Prospect is okay. It's not terrible in this deck. You could absolutely run it if you didn't want to run more combo just to prevent, additional attacks on the Bergamo, just to negate. The problem is that the longer that a game goes, Prospect decreases in value with every turn. So by the time that it becomes relevant to defend that Bergamo aggressively, your opponent, Heroic Perspective Trunks is really good against Dark Brawly and Red Brawly in the first 3 to 4 turns. 5 turns for Dark Brawly. But once they hit turn 6, if I haven't beat them by that point, then it's dead. It's a single negate.
Yeah, it's a single negate that puts a 15k on field, which is never bad for 1 energy. But
But
there's
you did
more value out of having other negates than just putting a 15k on field, because you already do that well enough with your deck, putting free battle cards out.
Yeah.
And
Fair
just
enough.
on my end real quick, I have the Unison package in my deck currently. I have the Blocker Vegeta in my deck currently. those are no longer in my deck. Those are gone. All night, I didn't feel like I really needed to play them. And even on this turn, I'm like, I've already awakened. So if I were to play it, I won't have any energy to go up against you. And it's just going to be bad. So here, I went ahead, Overlord, get the extra draw. I'm just trying to verify your stupid cards because they're stupid.
They are dumb.
And before I
am playing Garlic Jr.
So I'm keeping one of your cards tapped using the, I can't remember which one that is out of my head, but I don't have a vinegar in my hand or I would have played the vinegar.
Yep. I was also expecting at any point here the 3-drop Garlic Jr. to prevent you from taking life from double strike, triple attack. But like you intelligently didn't play it, it doesn't affect you in this match.
Correct. And that's it's not the one I charged. I charged the expansion one.
You charged the expansion one, yeah.
Which doesn't have the flex, so I mean,
right. I get it. I'm also playing Fu Shrouded in Mystery in this, and I think I'm going to take that out for Fu Dark Banisher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just because being able to punish your opponent for defending 15 battle card attacks is really good. Like, if they activate negates, they have to warp a card in their hand. If they activate skills, they have to warp a card in their hand. And you see right now, and I'm about to go off more. And then, of course, you hit me with Flying Nimbus.
Yeah, I do what yellow does.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, this is how you survive this match, is by playing defensively and preventing me from going all out. I know that I don't want to burn another battle card attack in case I can put another Bergamo on field. I don't remember if I have another Comfrey Mark of the Wolves available or not.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Bancroft, do you have anything that pops cards ignoring barrier in your deck?
I have ways of KOing rest cards. I have ways of getting rid of his barrier. The problem is that I got to do that combo on my turn. Yep. So I have Vegeta's Final Flash in my deck, which will blank a card out. And then if I do Overlord, and I have the 3-drop Garlic Jr. on the board, I can put it into rest mode to KO a battle card in rest mode on my opponent's side of the field. The problem with that, though, is that Fluff won't let me put that on the board.
Yeah.
So here, you attacked. I'm using the Garlic Jr.'s auto to rest card one of the non-barrier cards. I mean, it gives you less combo power, potentially, but I mean, who am I kidding? I can't get cards on the board to stay.
I'm sitting on 10 battle cards, and 8 of those 10 cards have barrier. 2 of them have double attack, and 2 of them will blow up cards if they start attacking.
Oh, Chi-Chi's supposed to be in rest mode. We'll clarify in a second. Like, I kind of like backtrack it a little bit once after I overlord it, but I didn't tackle her, if I'm correct.
And Fluff, what is the mechanic that gives your folks barrier?
It is on the 4-drop Bergamo that is rest moded currently. It is when you have a Lavender and Basil on the field at the same time as that Bergamo, it gives all Trio to Dangers barrier.
So yeah, here, Overlord, put it on the deck. And then before I obviously draw, because I have to confirm I have these in my hand, here comes Garlic Jr. You actually might let it stay. I can't remember now.
I don't think that one bothered, because I was planning on counterplaying the 5-drop if you tried to put him out.
Yep. That's totally what happens.
Yep. And then I counterplay. There's just no point in letting that stick. It's another way for you to potentially get through the Bergamos.
I think I even said, like, all right, let me see it.
Yeah. You kind of played my turn for me there. So at this point,
I want to scoop.
Bancroft is like, if we weren't on camera, I would scoop.
I still wouldn't scoop, but I mean, it's just like, I realized in the first game, I was like, I don't know what I could do. Like, you're gonna get this on the board before I could truly establish what I need to establish. and maybe was playing it wrong. You know, I felt like round 1 I played against Dark Broly, and I beat Dark Broly. You know, and then in round 2 I played against a Schumann Salsa, and eventually it just led to my opponent going, "Good game." I mean,
Yeah. I feel with the 2 Bergamos on field against this deck, I feel zero pressure.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about this at all. So the only thing that would make this field better is if I had I played the Dangerous Triangle at a 1 of, just because like it's dead if you don't have the trio established, but it negates all battle card skills, energy cost 4 or less.
Yeah. And here I chose to tap your Unison set because I don't want to get that extra attack in.
Yeah. Yeah, you initially said the Confrane. You went, tap the Unison.
Yeah, I reread the card to make sure it was Unison. I was like, I think it said Unison as well.
Yeah, it does. And here, I think I just passed with 4 open energy. No, I want to clear your field off because I don't want you amassing.
Yeah.
But then I think I just pass after that and let him get warp.
Yeah, because you can't attack anymore.
Oh, nope. I want to solidify. And I do want to say this. Probably the big weakness of this deck is to the Kai secret rare. Because the Kai just annihilates this field.
I was digging for that card so much because it's in this deck currently.
Yeah.
Anytime I got opportunity to play something, and here I'm like, screw it, I'll play a Unison. It has blocker. You know, I have 2 extra energy. If I can use that for negates potentially, I will.
Yeah. And for anyone watching, I played 4 or 5 games this night with this deck. And every game I played, I built a field like this. It is consistent. It's not like this is like the absolute best. This is how the deck plays.
Do you have an idea on what the market price on that deck is right now?
Incredibly budget, if not for Hatchiak.
The Hatchiak and the 1-drop Basil are probably the 2 most expensive cards in the deck.
Honestly, I'm thinking about taking the 1-drop Basil out because every time I had it, I never really wanted to play it. The only reason that I played it there is it was the only target left in deck.
I mean, it's a great Unison killer if you have a Unison that is bloodgating you in some way.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I don't really think it's needed in the deck because of the amount of attacks that you have.
Yeah. It's a good turn 1, and then it's good as an option. Like Jimmy said, here I'm able to give it double or dual attack. So I have 3 dual attacks plus all of these individual attacks. You don't even need Champas in this deck. Like you could for the surprise win there, but you absolutely do not need it.
Have you gone up against a mono green hand control with it?
No. I think that hand control probably fares fairly well against this deck because the deck draws, but it's not plussing. Mm-hmm. It makes me want to find room for draw apes in here because...
Well, I don't know, actually. Early on, you using the leader, you play the 1 card, the bottom card, draw 2 cards, but you have to take a life in it. So you're gaining 3 by losing 1.
You lose... So you play the card, bottom a card, that's 2.
Sorry. Yeah, you lose 2.
Yeah, so you plus 1, but that's because of the leader. So the leader is a +2 every turn if you have a 2 or less to play.
I think if you could get the board established on, like, if you can get it established on turn 3, you may have a good chance against hand control. But here, you swung Hatchiak, and so I just, okay, cool, I'm going to get rid of your dual attack cards. And I'm like, all right, cool. You swung, I'm like, nah, it's game, man. I couldn't do anything.
Oregano is so ridiculous with this leader. Like, Oregano is in a lot of ways better than Unite Assemble. And Unite Assemble lets you establish a row or a Basil to the field, but Oregano filters so you find the pieces for your engine. And that's the thing about this deck, is it just consistently finds that Comfrey Trio to Danger Mark of the Wolves. It consistently has those by your turn.
Yeah. Bancroft, if you'd been able to get off Supreme Kai of Time, do you think you would have had a chance?
I would have had to tap out for it. So I would have had the one blocker, and I think I had 2 life, I think. There's a chance I could have, depending on what was in his hand. Like, if he had another way of just flooding the board, then no. But if he used all his resources, because you did it like 3 times, I think, at that point. I can't remember if it's 4 or 3 you play in that deck.
Yeah. The Bergamos, the 4-drop, I run 3.
Yeah, so he may not have been able to establish a good enough board, but I would not have any other way of defending myself outside of the one blocker. Now, granted, I did have a decent hand for a lot of protection. It's a hit or miss if I could have recovered from that point.
I don't think that I could have recovered from that.
Yeah.
I think Kai is the solution to this deck, and it is probably Kai herself, because a lot of decks in the meta right now are moving away from playing Cell Zeno.
Yeah.
Unless it's a yellow deck. Most yellow decks are trying to establish Cell Zeno, but the Kai, almost every other deck is opting to play her because there are so many aggro floody decks in the meta right now. Like, Kai destroys Dark Brawly. Kai destroys Bergamo. Kai destroys Yellow Frieza. It destroys Red Brawly. I mean,
I would say that the Kai doesn't really affect Dark Broly as much as the others because of how quickly Dark Broly can reestablish its field. And in a lot of situations, removing a Dark Broly from the field is actually helping the Broly player.
but it warps everything.
It does warp everything. Well, you can pull it back with Dark Broly.
The 2 games I did win, I didn't even use the Kai at all. I didn't even see her. Like, I won because of how Garlic Jr. can flood the board and protect itself with those extra cards. So, keep in mind, even though this was a bad matchup for me early on, going back on it, I would probably mulligan for the Kai and just hung on to it until I felt like I needed to play it.
Yep.
I never saw the Kai. It hurt. So, that being said, that's our cheese wheel roll, and the Gouda got the victory out of this one. Extra Cheddar's going home back into the moldy fridge. With that being said, we're going to go to a round of what I like to call final words. Matt, do you have any?
Not really. Bergamo he's legit. He's the truth.
Oh, and stay tuned to potentially tomorrow or 2 days from now. I can't remember exactly how the schedule lines up for Matt's game against Fluff.
Yep. Matt and I will have words in the.
You just cut out. I don't know where you were going on that one.
Matt and I will have words in the final.
There you go. Tanner, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here, just enjoying the commentary and hanging out.
Final words?
The Bergamo deck is surprisingly really good, and that's usually something that Fluff, one of his key things is he always kind of comes up with some spicy stuff, so I've enjoyed watching all of it.
Jimmy?
Nobody helped me out with the garbage on City Skylines from the last time I requested help.
What, you still have issues?
What'd you say?
You still having issues?
No, I figured it out, and the way I figured it out is that I just deleted the entire fucking city.
You playing Sim City?
City Skylines, bro. It's better than Sim City. Bro, that's 21st century. You gotta step it up.
And with
I'm still stuck on Windows 95, baby.
Are you still playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, Matt?
Guys, you've had your final words. Calm down. Fluff, lead us out.
Jeez, I can speak now. Bergamo is really good. Give it a shot. It seems daunting, and you might be tempted to go blue, yellow, kind of 50-50 or lean one way or the other. Like, tech it out. Oregano, Trio to Danger, Bergamo is such a value play. Like, don't sleep on it. Read your cards, know your plays. Fluff out.